Global News Update, January 23, 2026. Here is the summary of the top news for the past 24 hours, covering world, economy, finance, technology, and logistics events up to January 23, 2026. Good morning and welcome to your daily global briefing. Today is Friday, January 23, 2026. We are tracking a significant de-escalation in tensions over the Arctic, a market rally fueled by tech stocks, sobering warnings from the tech world regarding AI and quantum computing, and a strategic pivot in the global logistics sector. Here is what you need to know. World news: Arctic tensions ease and tragedy in Karachi. The headline story: Greenland crisis averted. The most significant geopolitical development of the last 24 hours comes from the ongoing diplomatic standoff regarding Greenland. Tensions have dramatically cooled after U.S. President Donald Trump withdrew his threat to impose tariffs on countries in the Greenland region. This de-escalation follows an announcement of a framework for a future deal reached with NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte. While specific details of the framework remain sparse, the immediate threat of a trade war involving Denmark and the broader European bloc has dissipated, calming nerves across Atlantic capitals. Davos and the Ukraine conflict. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, which concludes today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky delivered a fiery address. He blasted the European Union for hesitation while asserting that U.S. security guarantees are ready. Meanwhile, on the operational front, the French Navy has intercepted a suspected Russian Shadow Fleet oil tanker in the Mediterranean, signaling a crackdown on sanctions evasion. Disaster in Pakistan. A tragedy has unfolded in Karachi, Pakistan, where the death toll from a massive fire at the Gul Plaza shopping mall has risen to 67. The fire, which broke out 5 days ago, has highlighted severe safety regulation failures, sparking public outrage. Rescue operations are entering their final grim stages today.
Economy and finance. Markets rally and corporate legal battles. Market reaction. Global financial markets have responded positively to the easing of the Greenland tariff threats. In the U.S., the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and Nasdaq all posted gains of over 1% in yesterday's session. Technology stocks led the charge, shaking off recent geopolitical jitters. Investors are now turning their attention to today's critical release of the U.S. services and manufacturing PMI data, which will offer the latest health check on the world's largest economy ahead of the Federal Reserve's meeting next week. Trump versus Wall Street. In a stunning corporate political clash, Donald Trump has filed a lawsuit against banking giant J.P. Morgan Chase and its CEO, Jamie Dimon, seeking at least $5 billion in damages. The lawsuit alleges political debanking, claiming the institution unfairly targeted him. This legal battle is expected to send shockwaves through the banking sector, raising questions about the intersection of finance and political partisanship. Emerging markets. In India, data shows that outward remittances have fallen to a 2-year low, driven by a drop in spending on overseas travel and education. Conversely, domestic investor confidence seems robust in specific pockets, with promoters of small-cap companies increasing their stakes significantly, betting on a turnaround despite broader market volatility.
Technology, the AI reality check and hardware crises. AI, hype versus trust. The conversation around artificial intelligence is shifting from pure hype to practical capability. While Elon Musk predicted in the last 24 hours that AI could surpass human intelligence within 5 years, reports emerging from the tech sector suggest a different reality for businesses. Several major companies have admitted that their agentic AI goals, autonomous AI agents that perform tasks without supervision, are not working as planned, largely due to a breakdown in user trust. The vibe coding phenomenon. In a lighter but significant twist, Linux creator Linus Torvalds has weighed in on the trend of vibe coding, using AI to write code based on vibes, or loose natural language rather than strict syntax. His involvement signals that AI-assisted programming is moving from a novelty to a serious, albeit controversial, workflow in software development. Hardware and security. On the hardware front, a RAM crisis continues to plague the PC market. Memory giant Micron has issued a statement saying it is trying to help consumers, though frustrations remain high over supply shortages and pricing. Furthermore, a new report has exposed serious security flaws in quantum computers, warning that the technology intended to solve the world's most complex problems may itself be vulnerable to distinct types of cyberattacks.
Logistics and supply chain, strategic shifts and cyber threats. Logistics as strategy. The World Economic Forum has released the Global Trade Observatory Annual Outlook Report 2026, which marks a fundamental shift in how logistics is viewed. It is no longer seen merely as a support function but as a strategic enabler of growth. The report highlights that for 2026, the top priority for executives is supplier diversification to mitigate geopolitical risks. The EV trucking tipping point. A new report from shipping giant Maersk indicates we are reaching a tipping point for electric vehicle (EV) trucking. The data suggests that EV trucks are nearing cost and service parity with diesel trucks, particularly in Europe. With decreasing capital expenses and operational costs, 2026 is poised to be the year of mass adoption for green heavy-duty transport. Cyber warnings. However, the outlook is not entirely positive. Analysts at Everstream Analytics have predicted that cyber attacks on logistics networks are expected to double in 2026. As supply chains become more digital and interconnected, they become richer targets for ransomware groups and state-sponsored actors. That wraps up your extensive news update for January 23, 2026. From the thawing ice of Greenland's geopolitics to the heating up of legal battles on Wall Street and the transformation of global supply chains, it is a day of significant movement. Stay tuned for further updates.